we have to be aware of like the point of your conversations. Like, let's say when you are like a business person, you are someone, or you are like someone who are like offering, you offer a business, you offer something, right? You offer a service, you offer something. You want to like know like your communications. It's like everything, it's everything. Like your your communications is like the foundations or of your business or the thing you're selling. It's everything, right? And you want to keep it like in an actual conversation. You want to like keep it the smoothest as possible and the fluent and the good and as possible. So because the thing is like you want to get a win condition, right? You want to get in this place where you both, even like, let's say an example, like your friend or your coworker or the guy you are doing business with. You want to get in both conditions where you both get a win and a win, yeah, right? You both get something to win, right? You don't lose anything. And we have to like understand like there's phases in a conversation to keep it as smooth as possible. And it's gonna be like, let's say you start a conversation and then you enter in an argument for some reason. You are negotiating something or you are like debating something. So you're gonna like go into an argument. And when you have an argument, there's like two phases of this argument. There's like the ignition, there's like the ignition and the cooling. The ignition is where things gets a little bit like rough. Everything gets it's going the opposite directions. It's not going well, or it's not going the way you want it to be, or the you it's going like the way you didn't want it to be, or it's like going the way it wasn't supposed to be, right? And that won't get you a win-win, right? That's gonna you're gonna lose something, even if like means losing the customer or a deal. And this basically you want to be aware. Like we have some like the first thing is like you want to think list about like this ignition thinking, and where everything where things that you said weren't supposed you be saying it, or the other person, or like vice versa, right? And then there's like a cooling phase where you're trying to like get back the things you wanted. And the point is like you never want to be in that ignition phase. So you kind of want to like know what are your triggers, right? What are things you want to meet your triggers, things that get you in this phase that you get you are not comfortable talking, or you are like in this argument or having a or like debating on something, right? So you want to keep it as smooth as possible. And the things you want to like meet your triggers. There's many triggers. There's like physical triggers. There's the psychological triggers are a little bit like they're way too much. There are a lot. I can come up with some examples, like when, let's say, if there's like some social evaluation triggers. This is where you ask yourself some questions like, if I say this, what would it be their reaction? Or like if I do kind of like certain thing, like, or like if I look certain way, that's like the social evaluation, like the way this is like basically the way that you think you're gonna be perceived. And this is really like important to like get along with, right? You want to be like, you want to like understand yourself, and that when you are like in having these thoughts, you manually you can like say to yourself, okay, I'm like having this trigger when I'm in a negotiation, or I'm kind of talking with a friend or or my couple, or like like your someone, your family, like, okay, if you're like, okay, I'm saying, if I say this, what could be the reaction? So you want to know, like, that's a trigger that could get you in trouble, right? So you want to keep it smooth, and kind of like that, right? And there's like also some competence triggers, like when you like compare to others, or you like you're in you basically you compare to others, and you think like you're not good enough, or you are not like you like you think like you're not doing enough. And that's kind of like a little bit, there's like a lot more that I can talk about a little bit deep in future videos. But yeah, this is like a little bit. There's also this trigger that is like the autonomy trigger, that you like you are in a position where you think, am I like, you think yourself, am I being micromanaged? Am I like, I'm not being trusted enough? I'm not like, I'm not like, could be because you're not trusted, or the other person is thinking that you're not trusted. So this is like another trigger. And then like it's kind of like that, right? You feel like you're maybe in micromanage. And there's like also the value trigger, where you don't think that your belief, or the things you care about, or the things that you have some values, you have like different value about, are being like challenged, right? Are being like, let's say like you are like in a work environment, where your coworker, start talking sexually about a girl that is in the same place you work at. He's start talking about like others girls sexuality, and like, and this is like, you have some values. Some people have this like values, and they don't feel like they're feeling like they're being challenged. Their values are being challenged. And this is like a little bit like what I wanted to talk, like those are some triggers that can get you in this ignition phase, where you're gonna be like debating, and then you're gonna get a lose, and that's not actually like the goal, right? That's not what you want. That's not what you want the results to be, right? And I would say thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.